Hey guys, it's CSDX and welcome to this video. Does anyone remember Butt Ugly Martians? No, of course not. Hardly anybody even remembers that crap. It's an interesting series to say the least, though one that didn't last long. Butt Ugly Martians was essentially I believe a Canadian-French computer animated TV show. I might be wrong in the Canadian-French part, but it was about these three aliens who were sent by an evil emperor ruler of theirs to the planet Earth to conquer it. They ended up loving it there and decided to not conquer it and just lax about. However, they need to frequently update Emperor Bog on the progress, and they do so by pretending to kill the same three kids that happen to be the kids that they befriended on there over and over and over. You'd think Emperor Bog would end up noticing about that, but apparently not. I guess because he's never seen humans before and he just thinks they all look alike, which is kind of speciesist, to say the least. The series lasted a good 2 months. Yep. It went from January to March of 2000 and whatever the year was. I'll put it down here. It lasted 1 season and was cancelled after 2 months. That is amazing. And I believe it also ended on a cliffhanger, but I'm not too sure. Interestingly enough, the show did garner some attention in that it got a few games. Oddly enough, including one for the Game Boy Advance. And as much as I hate to say it, we're gonna look at it. We're gonna play it. We're gonna fucking hate ourselves doing it. Okay, new game. Oh dear. I'm perfectly capable of saving the world. Just make sure you don't have any pre-existing condition like sexual assault. Look at Yellow. He's like, yeah, you're gonna play this shit. I'm the smart one of the three because I'm looking right at you. They each have a major advantage in certain areas, but I'll go with red because it's my favorite color. So the evil Emperor Bog is fed up with waiting for the three bums, that's Butt Ugly Martians, to take over Earth, so he decides to have some robot army attack Earth instead. The bums learn of this somehow and proceed to activate BKM, butt-kicking machine or something like that, I don't know. And then we get what feels like the longest fucking tutorial of all time. Given that I've been playing Breath of the Wild, a game with little to no handholding, it's a lot to take in right now. Yeah, handholding can help, but you gotta know when too much is too much. Okay! I have several problems with this scenario. First off, I thought this would be something like a platformer, but it isn't. It's kind of a mixed bag of 2D side-scrolling space shoot-em-ups. Second, the show takes place in a sort of futuristic suburbia Earth. Where the hell is this place? I might as well have a show about my life, don't watch, it's boring, trust me, and then make a game about it by having me fight in a jungle against an evil version of fucking Hamilton. Or make a game about a show within a sitcom and make it so he attacks dinosaurs with power tools. Foreshadowing.
And by that I mean I might review that game someday.
Third, the camera is pretty garbage, and as you push up or down to go up or down, the camera darts around so fast that it's headache-inducing. I'm actually serious about this. I got legitimate headaches because of this camera. This is a 2D side-scrolling space shooter. How do you fuck up the camera for this field of gaming? Fourth, you're unable to turn around, but it's a bit complicated. As to face another direction, you have to press B. You can't just turn around like a normal game would do, although, in all fairness, if they programmed this so you turn around left or right, it would be even harder to look at, given the earlier camera issues. Seriously, it really hurt my head, to be honest. I will say this, though. One positive thing I can say about this game is the music. It is really damn good to listen to, in all honesty. And it shows how good music on the Game Boy Advance can really be, if done right. However, therein lies the one major flaw with this game. Repetitiveness. Yeah, the music is enjoyable, but it loops endlessly for your time in the game. As far as I can tell, there are 4 stages in each world, and each world has a set track that just drones on and on and on to the point that I was scared I'd have some kind of aneurysm. No joke, my headaches were that bad. There's also the fact that you're pretty much shooting the same enemies over and over and over. There's Sudmic, whatever the fuck his name is, where you can knock him to sleep, but it only appeared to obstruct me once in my playthrough. Once! to the point where I practically begged him to show up for variety's sake. The repetitiveness is that fucking bad. It's also confusing to go through, as in each stage you try to find keys to progress while shooting everything you need to, gaining power-ups and such. So it's a puzzle-based space shooter, kind of. Not gonna lie, I forgot the game told me I could access a map by pressing R and didn't realize it until the second stage. Better late than never, I guess. By the way, just to make this clear, you can switch characters at any time by pressing select, but most of the time you barely end up taking any damage, and even if you take any damage, there are quite a few health pickups that you can get that'll heal you up nicely. So you can pretty much play as one alien while powering up to no end, with no real reason or need to switch to either two guys, because you end up overpowered as fucking hell. Granted, the game doesn't heal you after beating each level, which is horse shit, but again, you get healed up well enough and it's practically hard to die in this game, even if you're close to it. Alright, level 1 beat, there's my score on... Okay, let me just be clear. I've probably mentioned this in both of my reviews on respective 3D6 developed games, but I'll go over it again. This is the Game Boy Advance. It is a system that is capable of not just 60 frames per second, but also proper saving capabilities. Hell, the fucking original Game Boy managed to have saving features primarily with the first-gen Pokemon games. Even the Super Nintendo, in a number of games such as Chrono Trigger, had a proper save feature. Hell, while glitchy sometimes, the fucking NES had games that had save data feature, primarily in the Zelda games and even fucking Star Tropics, which I really want to try and get into, but it's so really hard. So when your game is on a system released over 25 years after a system that managed to have save data, and you opt to use passwords in an age where save data is used regularly, then I think it is safe to say that you should not be trying to develop games or even publish them, and that you done fucked it up! Oh, and it's the same boss for the entire first world. He just either shoots more bullets or rocks and meteors and falls on you. The rocks and meteors, that is, they fall on you. That's not added difficulty. That is lazy game design! Oh dear God, I'm only one world in and I'm spent. Please, at least tell me the second world. I'm not gonna bother how many worlds there are because that'll just diminish my wants. Just tell me the second world is at least somewhat different, please God. Oh, that was well, kind of. The music is different and still pretty good, but it's still on loop to the point where you want to stab your face with a soldering iron. Do soldering irons stab? I don't know. The level looks different and so do the enemies, but that's it. Outside of design, they're the same damn things. This is unforgivable laziness at its absolute worst. Well, at least the boss for this is kind of different, but he's far easier than the first boss. That's backwards. You know what? I think I'm done here. This game is fucking trash. I'll admit, I was starting to enjoy myself when I booted up the game, tried to enjoy a little bit of its charm here and there, but then I realized it didn't have any charm. It sucks. I thought it would be average, again, but the repetitiveness just destroyed this game for me. And the passwords, the use of passwords on a Game Boy Advance. So, you know what happens when you use passwords? You know what happens? Well, that is to say, when you use passwords on a Game Boy fucking Advance, you know what happens when you rely on repetitivity to try and make a game good? You know what happens when you use repetitiveness to the point where I feel like I'm gonna end up having an aneurysm and need a brain lobotomy? You know what happens? You know what happens? You just made the sheet! I can't fucking write. So, don't play the game. Hey guys, thank you so much for watching. If you liked this video, click the like button to show your support, and you can subscribe for more. Click any of the cards and such to check out the videos there and whatnot. You can also check out my social medias in the description below, and please remember to stay awesome. Bye-bye!